Well, it's that time of year again. It is time to review how I did in the previous year, and of course, obviously, I'm going to be talking about reviewing how things went in 2020. If I'm like pretty much like everybody else in the world, it's been kind of a rough year. But you know what? And as poorly as I do on goals and getting things done from one year to the next, despite all the issues we've had this year, I didn't do as badly as normal, and that's kind of cool. So let's kind of go over what I had done from my goals for last year, and then grade myself. Okay. The first one was getting into the trailer house, and I was honest at the time. I didn't know if we'd actually ever get into the trailer house. It's been like 2.5 years, something like that, since we drug the thing up here, and I think it sat for a year with nothing happening with it. But the things that I did list did get done. We did finally get the sewage line done, and we finally got the water line in, and we got the electricity. We had somebody come from our church to fix whatever I couldn't figure out and whatever Tom couldn't figure out with electricity, and I was so grateful for that. And so we've got electricity, we got water and sewage. We don't have we don't have propane over there yet. It's set up enough that actually Kinsey has her own bedroom and bathroom over there, which is kind of nice. I hate having her under a separate roof, but I keep an eye on her, take my word for it. But she has her own bedroom, she has her own bathroom, and we have electric heating, heaters over there for her, and she's happy she could be over there, and got that done. And I had hoped if I had moved the television dish over there, that Tom would be encouraged to get us closer to getting into the house. No. He comes home and eats dinner. He comes to the camper and watches, he comes home from work and eats dinner, and then he goes over to the trailer house and watches football or whatever other television that he does over there. So we've made some strides. It's pretty good. Somebody even gave us a propane tank the other day, so we're trying to work on getting that set up. But golly, it's going to be almost like another $500 to get it hooked up, and we don't have those kind of funds right now. And I'll work toward that. But we're getting there. Kinsey's room is completely done. Her bathroom. I do want to do one more thing in her bathroom. It's functional right now and everything, but I do want to change out the flooring in it. But I don't want to pull the toilet to do that again. I'm in the process of working on the spare bedroom for my storage and for freezers and canned goods and stuff. And so we've actually made some progress with that. I'm actually pretty grateful. My second thing I had put on was on the Etsy store. It's only been kind of coasting, but it's kind of interesting. I could tell people all day long that I have an Etsy store and it's called Kinsey's Candle Shop, but I was not getting any traffic there. Well, the deal is, you have to actually do an actual link, and I didn't know that because I'm a bonehead, I guess. So I got the actual link done and just put it on several things, and I'm getting some traffic there now, and that's pretty cool. And we do have some lotion bars, and we have the healing salve, and I have 2 different kinds of scented candles. One of them is eucalyptus, and the other one is lavender. And so it's coasting, it's going. It's not going gangbusters, but at least it's still going. My writing, I was thinking about doing freelancing writing and stuff like that. The writing is actually, I haven't done much with the writing, but what I do is mainly for our church, so I'm enjoying that. I do get to write the comedy that I was thinking about doing. Who'd have thought that you would write funny stuff about biblical characters, but I think the humor is actually more into my perspective of certain things in the Bible. I don't know, but I get to write for the women's group and that, and I actually even did a skit the other night, so I actually even get to do a little acting. I got a lot to learn on that, get more practice on it, I guess that's what I want to say. I'm not doing any freelancing. I am easing more into it, checking into it. I believe it hasn't been as big a priority as I thought it would be, so, but I'm enjoying what I get to do. It's kind of funny because when I sit down and write something for the church, it comes, it flows, and everything like that. But if I sit down, I'm going to say, I'm going to write this thing, it's like, I can't get it to come out. So it's okay, because I got plenty to do as it is. My YouTube channel. It's been slow also, but I've learned a lot. I've overcome a lot, and I am picking up little subscribers here and there, and I've learned enough that I'm going to be going into some other different directions and stuff too. I may be even changing the name of this channel from Ellis Family Farms to Grandma's Homestead for a variety of reasons. I'm also going to be putting stuff out on a whole nother channel, not on YouTube, but on Odyssey, as soon as I get all the technical stuff worked out with that. And speaking of technical, I do have a new laptop. I have a new camera. I still got one of my old cameras, and it has, you know, you can do what you can do. I'm getting better. You know, it's getting better. But I've got some really interesting ideas I'm looking forward to doing on YouTube, and plus some of the things I've learned. One of the things I've learned is I have a goal in mind that morning. I'm not just going to get out and walk or work and say, okay, I'm feeding the chickens. Oh, look, here comes a duck. I actually have a project of the day in mind before I turn that camera on every day. I'm going to paint the floor. You know, in that spare bedroom, I'm going to paint a wall. I'm going to work in the blackberry bed, and then I've got this puppy that I end up having tug of wars with. That's not part of it, but it works, I guess. I don't know. But I'm learning a lot. I'm getting some stuff done, and I think I'm on the verge of doing well with that. About time. Eggs and pork. Oh, guys, this has been a terrible year. You know, the previous year or last year, I had a lot of losses. I think a bobcat was getting into it, and I had electric fence. So, but I think something like a bobcat was able to jump the fence, and I had a lot of losses with my birds. And I'm down to, well, I was down to 3 old hens that might lay an egg occasionally, and I've got it down to 2 new hens that lay little bitty white eggs that it's like, yeah, that's not really great. And I've got some ducks and a drake, but even then they're not doing a whole lot either. So I am definitely, well, I bought 15 chicks. I finally was able to get chicks. Getting birds was hard this year. I did some meat birds. I think I did 2 batches. Maybe I only did 1. I can't remember. But it was hard to get meat birds. It was hard to get chicks. I mean, I was going to hatcheries from all over, from at least the eastern United States anyway, from Oklahoma to Iowa, I think. Ohio. I get those 2 mixed up. I don't remember. But, you know, I was having trouble finding birds, and a lot of things were late. And so I've got 15 chicks. And it was 22 degrees this morning, and they're doing well. I'm glad, because I wouldn't know what else. I mean, I do what I can for them, but they're actually doing quite well. And so I'm going to have, I'm pretty sure they're all still hens. You know, when you order them, you go, yeah, they're supposed to be all females, and half of them are male. But so far, they're all looking pretty female-y, so that's good. And so I'm going to have 15 young hens that we start laying this next spring. This spring I wanted to get some ducklings this last fall, but I wasn't able to get my ducklings, so I can start expanding that either. But I'll probably try to do that this next year too. I did turkeys. I did my first batch of 10 turkeys. And when I was going to tell you about that, we built one of those John Suscovich style chicken tractors. I love that thing. Now with the chickens are kind of aggressive when you're trying to feed them and stuff, so it's kind of hard to wade in there and feed them and wade back out and stuff. And of course, when you open the door, they try to get out. But the turkeys, they were mellow, they were big. I mean, toward the very end, the last couple weeks, they were more aggressive to each other than they weren't aggressive to me at all. But I ended up with all 10 of my little poults survived all the way up to graduation day, and I was able to give some away for Christmas presents or Thanksgiving presents, whatever they wanted them for. And of course, if you've seen that video where I ground up and got I think 26 pounds of ground, and so. And with my new diet, that's been wonderful, because apparently I'm off all red meat and wheat. And even pork. Oh, guys, it's hard to live in the South and not love barbecue and not to get to eat it. But God's good to me. I don't miss it real bad, and I'm not tempted real bad. I'm grateful for that. But yeah, it was so cool to have some turkey meat, and I've got that in my freezer, and that's neat for me. And so that's been a pretty good thing. But as far as the rest of the birds, it's kind of been bummed out. So this is definitely going to be a rebuilding year for the birds. I did not get pigs. I did get the electric fence, and I got the charger for it. I just had trouble pulling the trigger, and it's because I don't want to get just any pig. I'm specifically looking at certain types of pigs and checking them out. And I don't know, like I said, pulling the trigger. I do not want to contribute to the wild pig population anywhere, and I'll get there. I just have to get brave, I guess. So I did not do pork this year. And part of the reason I didn't do that either, even though I have a family, my husband and a granddaughter, pork is one of the things I'm not supposed to eat. So it was hard. That was another indicator that made it hard for me to pull the trigger. But I still want to do pigs. Well, I'm still going to do pigs. So as soon as I can figure out how to pull the trigger and get it done, I'm going to get it done. I was talking last year about TikTok and doing comedy and stuff. I looked at TikTok. I don't know. I'm sure it's really cool. I'm not figuring out where I would fit in with that genre, so I just didn't do anything with it. Developing the farm. Like I said, it was a rough year. It took me like 2 weeks to even source the materials to make my chicken tractor, and the price of lumber is through the roof. Had too many losses with birds. Was very difficult to replace the birds. So that part didn't go quite as well. But truly, in some ways, even if I didn't physically meet all my goals, I am more mentally and emotionally prepared to meet my goals for 2021, and that's what I'm going to work toward now, is figure out what I want to do for this next year, because we're all looking forward to figuring out what to do with our next year, because this year was a mess. And I pray that you guys are spending time to get your years together. I know I'm a little bit early with mine this year. Oh yeah, another thing I need to think about too is some of the people that I'm following stuff, they have a word of the year, and I'm still working on my word. Is it persistence? It might be persistence. I don't know. Commitment? Not commitment. I think persistence is going to be my word for 2021, and it might be my word for 2022 and here on out also. But that's kind of cool to give you a word for the year to think about, to help you focus on what your goals are for the next year. So that's how I did in 2019. It could have been a whole lot worse than it was, and I'm grateful it wasn't, and I'm looking forward to this next year.